about women, and I tell women that dating is unfair to them. I have to be reasonable and objective when it comes to men too. Some men have to work harder, some men get it earlier. It's just the reality of dating. You just don't have it as well as some other men. We're not equal. You know, sexual competition is a thing. Men have to compete for women just like women have to compete for men, especially modern dating. Dating is a mess now. So I mean, it's the repugnant reality of dating. What one guy can't get in a day, another guy can. It's just the reality of dating.
Would an easier way to say this, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this has always seemed like common sense to me, Q, and maybe I can ask the panel this too, but doesn't it seem like if you're an ugly dude, you should just pick an ugly woman, and then your chances greatly increase of getting the sex and everything else it is that you want, marriage, etc. Don't a lot of people just kind of hit out of their league?
Yeah, that's the problem. People be aiming for the fucking stars. I mean, if you're trying to date outside your league, especially physically, then you're not going to fare well. But there's a such thing as assortative mating, and we typically get into relationships with people that we're similar in attractiveness to, religiosity, political orientation, and intelligence. So if you're somebody who's not as attractive, but you're trying to date somebody more attractive than that person, if it's a woman and you're not as attractive as the guy that you're dating, he's going to fuck you, play you, leave you, because you're not attractive enough for him to commit to. And if it's a woman, she's going to take advantage of you. She's going to extract the resources that she can out of you as much as you're willing to give, and you're not going to get it as soon as other guys get it, if you get it at all, if you even get it at all.
But this brings up the Great Whatever Podcast conundrum, the Great Whatever Podcast question of our time. How do ugly men know what types of ugly women they should go for if all of the women on whatever podcast always say that they're 10s?
Oh my God.
Word.
We need to see the men that they've dated, actually. We need to see, because the men that they've actually dated will reveal their actual attractiveness level.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We have one more.
This is the WQ, the whatever question, which is,
oh boy,
specifically, how do ugly men know how to date within their league if every woman who ever comes on the whatever podcast is a 10? This is the question of our time.
It is a conundrum.
Well, they shouldn't date a woman from the whatever podcast.
Didn't you say you were a 10, by the way?
No, I said I was a 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. If all of them on the whatever podcast are 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Well, I'm dating a 10, so.
Oh.
Isn't he like 20 years older than you are?
He is.
And disabled?
So he is not disabled, but he is very attractive, and he actually doesn't look old. He actually looks a little bit younger than you, to be fair. But I mean, to me, he is a 10. I was attracted to him from the very first time I saw him, and I mean, he's dated a lot of celebrities in the past, and it's just, I don't know, to me he's a 10.
Can I say a comment? Sorry.
Yeah, to you. Hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And to others,
hang on, to you he's a 10. Fine.
Others.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say to me a person's a 10, to me a person's not a 10. That's totally fair, right? But objectively, when you look at like the universal style of standards that most people go for when you're kind of creating what is or is not good looking, right? And we all kind of pretend that doesn't exist, but it fucking exists, right? We know it exists. So where would he fall on that scale?
He would fall around 9 on the objective, what is society, considers to be absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Okay.
You had something?
I just wanted to say, I think there's another way to look at it as well, because I think you're going based off looks. But I think for me, anyways, in my past relationships and anyone that I'm trying to pursue, it's all about like the connection. Like I think the whole stigma of trying to find someone in your rating, like the leagues thing, like 10 stay with 10s and then 5 stay with 5s or whatever. I don't really look at people, like I don't look at someone and think, oh my God, like he's so attractive, definitely, like I need to get with him. It's more like, can I have a conversation with him? Can I actually sit down and like pick his brain, really understand what I'm saying. Because if I ask him a question, girl, I'm sorry, if I ask him a question if the sky's blue and he's like, oh yeah, like I'm just like,
Like, make it make sense, please.
like he could be
Yeah.
like, you know, to the world, like Andrew said, like the norm of being the most attractive man in the world. But if I genuinely cannot conversate in an emotional connection way, then I'm like,
unattracted.
like to me that's like I genuinely cannot be with someone. Like if there's a man that you guys deem to be of not as attractive as another man, but I can genuinely sit with him and chat with him and have a genuine conversation that's like deep and meaningful, and yeah, like I can't put them to ranking, or like I don't believe that I'm like, I believe some men should and can, I guess, shoot for the stars, but like I don't mean it in sense of it's just looks wise. Like their personality needs to come from a good home, good heart. Like, and I'm not a 10. I think I'm a solid 5. Like I don't think I'm that bad, but I don't think I'm anywhere close to fine as hell. But for me, anyways.
No, I completely agree. I think attractiveness, your personality and what you bring to the table in the terms of can we talk at the table, that plays the biggest part. Because you can be a drop-dead guy, gorgeous guy or a girl. Most of the time, if you're not stimulating mentally, or if you have a bad personality, like a male 10 by societal standards, if he's a 10, but he has nothing going on in his head, just not nice, not very intelligent, automatically it's like, oh, what a bore, what a waste of physical potential when there's nothing going on in your brain.
Yeah, it immediately goes down to
Yeah.
like a 6'5" kind of level.
Definitely.
Can I be honest about something from my personal view? There's been guys who've been like super nerdy, because I'm also like that. I like to connect with them intellectually, and I just knew from the get-go, like, it's not going to go anywhere because there is no physical attraction from my standpoint. So I totally agree. It definitely subconsciously, it's one of the things I look at, like, okay, we're getting along, but I'm also attracted to you.
Oh no, looks are
physically.
definitely important. I'm not saying looks are not
Right.
important. Definitely you got to be attracted to them, but me personally, I get more attracted to someone, like for example, my man could be a 3 out of 10, whatever, but I feel like the more I'm with him, I'm gonna find him a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna find him like straight 10 out of 10. Like I'm just gonna have that bias thing. The more that I'm with them, he will automatically become more attractive to me anyways.
Okay, well, let me ask you, have you ever dated what you think is a 3 out of 10? Physically, looks wise? Has any of your exes actually been a 3 out of 10?
I don't think that's nice, but I think they're okay.
You think they're okay?
They're okay, yeah. They
Okay.
were really nice and like funny. Like see, my first ex was Egyptian and my second was Filipino. Like I definitely don't have a type, I guess, necessarily. Like if you just have like a good heart and you're funny or whatever, automatically you just become more attractive to me.
Well, how long did that take? How, like, was that a process?
I get, but like the things that we were friends before we became anything.
Wait, if I can just jump in here.
sorry.
So Q wasn't asking about your type. Whether they were Egyptian or Filipino is kind of irrelevant. There are plenty of attractive Filipino and Egyptian men. So he's asking if those men were, or any of the men you've dated, were 3 out of 10s in their looks.
I don't think so.
So they were more attractive than that.
Possibly, yeah. But other people would say no, though. That's the thing. And I don't know if it's a bias because they're my friend or if they're generally unattractive. Do you know
So
what I
a
mean?
10 would say that he's unattractive, which is
No,
normal.
definitely not. A 10 would not say that they're attractive, but
No,
like,
that they're unattractive. A 10 would obviously say like, oh yeah, he's unattractive because she's a 10. So she's not going to look at that guy and be interested in him at all.
yeah.
So
Well-
you are not going to look at a guy, even as, you know, interesting as he is, he's still like ugly.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's essentially what it boils down to. You have to be physically attractive enough to get your foot in the door to where she even wants to know what your mentality and your personality is. And that's actually I've actually done several research studies on physical attractiveness versus personality, with women ranking, you know, personality versus physical attractiveness and everything. And all the studies reveal that when it comes down to it, physical attractiveness is actually number one. You have to be physically attractive enough for a woman to even want to know if you're intelligent enough, if you can hold a conversation, if you're funny. Now, of course, women's attraction is contextual and it's more nuanced than male attraction because men are more visually stimulated by a woman's physical appearance. But in essence, you still have to be physically attractive as a guy for her to even take that interest in you, and that's across domains in most cases. It's ubiquitous. So
Yeah, but I'm not saying that he's ugly. I'm not saying.
Ubiquitous is a pretty big word, Q.
it just came out. I started getting into my college days. It just came out.
No, like I definitely get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I'm not saying that they're ugly, and I would never say they're ugly. Like, obviously, attraction does play a big role in it. But like for both relationships, we both started as friends, but we're in the same group. Like, it's, for me, attraction does take a big part in it. I can't look at someone and say, oh, they are attractive. Definitely. I couldn't say, oh, like, I don't think this person would suit with me. But like, ultimately, genuinely, bottom of my heart, like if I have someone who is genuinely kind, emotional, and everything like that, I'm more drawn to that.
Okay.
I'm more like those, both of them. I used to work with one of them. We were working together for like 6 months before anything happened. I'm not gonna be like, ew, you're ugly. I'm not gonna socialize with you. I'm a social butterfly. I want everyone to be included. You know, I don't want anyone feeling left out. So automatically, I would talk to anyone, even if they're not a 10 out of 10. I would talk to every single person there is.
But also, you also self-aware. You called yourself a 5. Do you think that plays a part in the fact that you're more lenient with male looks because you don't think you're a 10? See, if you thought you were a 10, you'd be looking at men a little different. You'd be like, no, he's too ugly for me because I think I'm this attractive. But the fact that you know that you're average gives you the leeway and gives them room for error to not be as attractive as they would initially need to be if you thought you were more attractive than what you think you are.
I get that. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying for me personally, anyways. For me personally, but I get where you're coming from.
So, like, why did you even bring an example that, like, if it's a 3, if you've never dated someone who you assume is a 3 or you think is a 3?
The 3.
Yeah, because, like, that was the example that you brought up. Like, if they're a 3.
I'm saying if society views them as a 3, like,
okay, but, like,
I can't put a rank on someone.
Well, okay. That's fair. I mean, yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but, like, me personally, I can't call someone, like, I can say you're ill if you make my friends upset. I can be like, ew, babe. Like, oh, come on. But, like, that's just coming from a friend. I know it's weird, but, like, that's like a friend. Like, that's what I mean. I'm very, like, friendly. I'm very, like, comforting. And, like, I would never want to say anything to rank anyone. That's why I think I'm average. Like, I would never want to come from a place to put a man to feel like... Because I think males are so like this ego thing because of this dominance, because of the assertiveness, because of the way they kind of have to be. This is my opinion, by the way. This is not saying that everyone agrees with me. But I guess putting a man in a position where he doesn't have to feel like he has to be 1,000 times better than everyone else. I don't know. I just want chill dude. Whatever comes from it, comes from it. Like, that's why I just accept everyone for how they are. And that's just me. Maybe that's why I've been single for so long. But like, it's whatever. I'm not rushed to meet anyone who's a 10 out of 10, I guess.
I feel like 10 out of 10s usually have a little like cockiness problems and little attitude problems too.
But can you talk to them?
So just
Like when they know they're fine.
Actually,
When they know they're
Well,
fine.
we might as well ask this question since we're kind of on the topic. Ask everyone to rate their looks on this. Rabe Ruji says, Brixton, just say no? Wait, what?
Oh, the no.
Oh.
Is that what?
Here, we'll try it again. No.
no.
You're doing something when you say it.
No.
And I'm watching you.
go no, whoa, whoa.
No. No.
Yeah, you have to.
There we
open
go.
it.
That's-
Over her mouth,
No.
right?
No.
Yeah,
All right.
she got to open her
No,
mouth.
she's saying nar still.
No.
No.
It's pretty close.
All right.
Getting there.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you. Go ahead.
6.
We should have asked this before we got into the rating stuff, but
I'm like a strong 4.5.
Oh my god.
Like a 6.5.
6.
6.5.
9.
5.
Q.
6.3.
I give myself a 5. Andrew.
I'm a 4 for sure, or less.
All
I
right.
think you're beautiful, Andrew.
Yo, Craze, thank you for the gifted 10 subs.
What's it?
It's
like
Twitch.
I got the patronizing beautiful and everything. It's like that's like the head pat where they're like, no, come on, no. It's like, come on.
I think
Come
everybody's
on.
beautiful.
You can just make it a little bit less patronizing for me.
So you're the